Hello everyone and welcome to another ROFFS update video for the Southeastern United States area in early November. Keep in mind everything we look at today is a couple of days old and features do move quickly with the Gulf Stream in this area. The main thing we wanted to talk about today is the Gulf Stream temperature. So you may still find 85 degrees or so off of the Keys. We have 84 degrees once we get off the Florida to Georgia coast. In the South Carolina area, still up to 83 degrees. Then in that area, we have this major eddy feature here. And beyond that feature, we see a much cooler Gulf Stream. We have it about 81 and maybe even down to 80 once you get up to the Cape Hatteras area. So we'll just start in the south and move northward. We did have some cloud cover off of the Keys. We were able to pick out a couple of counterclockwise eddies down here. Just north of the Miami area, we do have a larger counterclockwise eddy there that will be moving up. Along the Florida coast, we have the fairly typical small counterclockwise eddies forming a nice edge there. Jacksonville area, really large counterclockwise eddy that's moving up through there. Off of the Georgia coast, just some minor counterclockwise eddies coming up, and then when we get off of South Carolina is when we have this large eddy feature. So this eddy is actually strong enough that it's pulling some cooler green inshore water well offshore into the Gulf Stream. And then on the flip side, it's also pulling this cooler but cleaner, darker blue water inshore into the Gulf Stream as well. So this rotation is basically delaying the Gulf Stream's progress, which is why we see 83 degree water south of the eddy and 81 degree water in the Gulf Stream north of the eddy. Moving forward, we have a couple of minor clockwise eddies on the eastern side there, and then a fairly stable edge. Moving forward, we do see some cooler water being pulled into the Gulf Stream on the eastern side near Cape Hatteras. Inshore past Cape Hatteras, we do have some really cold green water up there forming a strong edge, and then one counterclockwise eddy that you can see there. So now we'll hop over to the ocean color image. We did have some cloud cover and artifacting, like the speckles you'll see there, but that's okay. We can work through that. So starting, we could see that counterclockwise eddy that we talked about just north of Miami. That one will be moving up. You can see these little eddies really well off of the Florida coast. You can see the kind of two edges they form. The Gulf Stream edge on their offshore side, and then where they pull cleaner water in against the cold green inshore water there forms another edge. The big eddy off of Jacksonville is pulling this green water offshore. And then on its leading edge, you can see the darker blue Gulf Stream water kind of there, forming a nice edge that's moving up here. Off of Georgia, again, pretty stable edge there, just some small eddies. There is some clean water, but cooler water that's well inshore in that area. And then we get to the major eddy that we talked about, so that's pulling this cooler green water out. You can see it really well in the ocean color image. And then you can also see the cooler but clean blue offshore water that it's pulling into the Gulf Stream and cooling the Gulf Stream off. And then as a result of that eddy, we do see quite a bit of clean water in this area, well inshore in here. So moving past that eddy, on the eastern side, you could see the edge of the darker blue, cool offshore water there. And then there is this blue filament inshore in the bay here, that's of note. Moving up, Gulf Stream edge here, and you could see each of these little counterclockwise eddies. And then remember, this is the really cold stuff up here past Cape Hatteras. So I think that about does it for this area. If you are heading out fishing off the East Coast, remember to give us a call and order the appropriate day so you can see how things have moved. Good luck out there.